it just completely disappeared. The last year was just a whirlwind, Michael Phoenix.
It was. Anyway, moving on. Mid lane. Abed versus no one. The Timber Saw versus the Tiny matchup, I imagine should favor Abed. What do you think here, John?
I think it's actually not too bad for no one, as long as he doesn't cop too many of the whirling deaths. If you can try to just keep pressuring. You know, level 1, you don't have the most sustain on Abed. He's doing a great job right now, and no one with a toss back already. And as long as you can avoid the chip damage, you're pretty happy here as a Tiny. You've got a lot of magic damage, you've got a lot of cleave to play far back. Abed doesn't have as many trees to cut, he doesn't get the additional damage from whirling death. So it is a little bit more manageable for the Tiny overall, as long as, again, the spacing is played correctly. Up top, we are seeing some aggression start to kick in. We've got Watson on the Ursa with Fishman on the CM, up against Tims and Gabby on the Rubik and Mars. This lane can be a little bit more back and forth. There's a lot of aggression that can come out from Ursa CM. Watson just leveraging his early Fury swipes already.
Yeah, almost getting Gabby down. Watson forced to back off eventually, but already trying to apply that pressure very, very early on. And in game 1, we did see this safe lane of Entity. It was extremely dominant with the Troll Warlock. And I don't think it's going to be too different either with the CM Ursa. Still a very strong laning stage for the safe lane of Entity.
That it is. You still have to watch yourself here on the side of Blacklist. They do have a lot of ways of trying to kite around Watson, as long as Gabby holds onto that Spear and God's Rebuke. They've got the lift back as well once the levels are up in Tim's. So it's not too easy for Entity to get that rundown. I think you should still find some room to farm up here on the side of Blacklist. Bot lane, though.
First blood being drawn here from Kataomi. Sadly, we did not see if he landed a hook, but I imagine he probably did here, John. Kataomi going to enjoy himself a bit of bonus gold. Early brown boots to come here on the Pudge. Oh, there you go. He did land a stun. Thank you for that, Mr. Cameraman.
Yeah. He's a little bit... you have to respect that Flare's hook. It's just so much damage from afar. Not much you can really do to stop it once you are isolated away. You know, you have to kind of play your spacing here just right inside of Blacklist. They also have offensive potential again. With the Afterburner, with the Rocket Barrage, plus the Astral Spirit, there is some potential, but Pudge is way too tanky, and Venge stands far back enough that trying to isolate her, it's a bit of a pipe dream. So far, Entity coming out from the lanes looking pretty strong. Maybe just the Watson's lane up top a little bit slower than you'd want it to be.
It gets stunned up with the Spear of Gabby, of course. You do have that classic Rubik Mars combination up at this top lane. Watson will be able to salve up. It's like Blacklist International now. More than happy to start getting a little bit more aggressive with the Rubik Mars. And I think you still have to pay a lot of respect to the CM Ursa. They are going to jump in again. Watson, he's going to try for Gabby. Slows R out onto the Mars. No Frostbite available, though, from Fishman, so Gabby can still run. A little bit intriguing that they don't bother trying to go for the level 2 Frostbite for Fishman to really secure a kill, but he does opt for the Arcane Aura instead. Does make it so they can't really confirm their kill.
You can't confirm the kill, but you are still making the lane work quite nicely for the Entity. Again, it's a little bit slower for Watson than you'd like, but he's not getting completely bullied out by Gabby. Not a substantial enough CS lead here for the Morris to really feel threatened on the Ursa. I do understand why he kind of skips it. That you kind of want the mana sustain on your side lanes. It helps your Pudge just constantly have more room for more hooks without expending too much on regen. It does get a little bit easier, and that's where they can start to play. The camps have been left open as well. Fishman's been doing a great job in some openings to just get the pullbacks, keep this lane shoved in a decent spot for Watson.
Hook
He's not
is
always
out.
under threat there.
Natsumi gets caught by the hook of Kataomi. He will barely get away. But DM and Kataomi rather. Pretty easy, of course, to land that hook if you do have the magic missile set up. Natsumi has to play very cautiously, because once that hook lands, like, you've already lost over half your HP. You know, because they do get the max range out, because they have the guaranteed stun into the hook. It is a very painful experience.
It is. You have to watch yourself. Of course, there is the turnaround potential from Natsumi. Rocket Barrage is strong, but ooh.
The creep!
Ooh.
What was that creep doing?
I think it's the timing. Natsumi was aggroing the creep wave back. So he managed to I don't know if that was intentional, but you know, I'll give Natsumi that. Sure. 5 big brain play from Natsumi.
Arbit. Lane will be able to get away from the Tiny. Does take a boundary rune for himself, but no one once again is having a very good mid lane. 29 and 6 on the Tiny. No real contest here between himself and Arbit. I mean, Arbit is finding his own farm, but does feel as though no one is off to another great game here in this best of 2 series. Toss up. They've got the Timber underneath the T1 tower. Arbit going to try to run. Does manage to barely get away for now, as Fishman will try to chase him down, but Arbit does just chain TP away. But it kind of goes to show you what's kind of happening in this mid lane. Like, no one's just constantly just tossing Arbit into the tier 1 tower. He's only got level 1 reactive armor, of course, against this Tiny. And it is meaning that Arbit is constantly having to just chain away and just TP back towards the base. This bottom lane now, Zhao, gonna die to Kataomi on the Pudge. It's another easy setup here with the stun to the hook, and so what are you meant to do against, right? Like, as long as you get hooked, excuse me, as long as you get stunned, it's just a guaranteed crap ton of damage.
And it is. Again.
And here. Kataomi now being chased down. DM though with the stun, barely going to land on the deny. Kataomi onto the large camp, does get the deny off, barely in time. And Natsumi has to play a little bit carefully here, because you do have DM with a magic missile up in 1 second. If he lands it, he's got the kill. It won't bother, I don't think. DM will back off.
No, but all the lanes are under pressure from the side of Entity. Blacklist just being forced back, even up top. Gabby, again, constantly low on HP. Gabby?
He's just dead. Watson able to finally find the life of Gabby as the tips do start to come out here from Watson. Again, of the Blacklist, they have not had a good offlane so far in this best of 2 series. Just Watson and Fishman have just been too good at just shutting down the offlane of Blacklist. In fact, Watson now rushing towards the Wisdom Rune, and he's going to get it too. To make matters even worse for Blacklist, they can't even get the Wisdom. Tims does at least get the TP cancel on Watson, but it may actually cost him his own life. Gabby trying to save, Spear's not going to land, Watson's still on the run. And it seems as though Watson is probably going to make it, though Gabby will try for a chase but gives up.
It's pretty demoralizing for Blacklist. Entity just juking around, getting everything right on the map. Controlling every lane near perfection here. All of the initial timings are going to line up in favor of them. On the side of Blacklist, again, it almost feels similar to Game 1, where they're going to have to sit back, farm, hit some initial timings. At the least, there's going to be some teamfight play available once Gabby hits his 6, so you can try to play off of that arena. Try to find something for yourself. They are getting some meaningful stacks from Zhao as well. Abid, though, under threat.
That he is, Arbit. He'll be alright.
Oh.
Mid lane, however, they've got Tims now. Tims just going to drop easily to no one, who gets the avalanche toss. And again, you have the hook set up with the Frostbite of Fishman. And it really is the thing, like, this support Pudge with Player's Hook, as long as you have a setup and you can constantly get the maximum range hook, it's just too much damage. And this is level 1 hook. It's going to get worse.
Oh, yeah. I love that you said Player's Hook as well, Mike. You've got the Filipino accent. You know, the F turns into P in our language. You truly are Miguel Lorenzo Pineda, Mike. It's showing true.
Yeah, well, I'll finish this in a second. Hold on a minute. Gabby's in trouble top lane. You know, the sad thing is, John, I didn't even read that it said Player's Hook. I just assumed. I thought you were saying Player's Hook the whole time, so I just assumed it was called Player's Hook.
No. Don't you worry. We know you're Filipino, Mike. The F's and the P's, you know. Filipino. No difference there. That's how it rolls here. 0 to 5, Entity crushing the Filipino spirit right now, unfortunately.
Just for... Oh, hook out. Tims is caught. Just so everyone listening is aware, John is Filipino and not American, as Tibbs is going to drop. Cut to Omi to pick up another. Is Zhao now in trouble? The toss damage,
goodness.
my god! What was... He lost half his HP! No one tosses Kataomi in and half his HP disappeared.
Yeah, and that's some great timing. Kataomi gets 6 off the pickoff, off the waves, and gets Dismember out. 6 stacks of Flesh Heap already for a Pudge very early on. And they're still hanging in this area. No big cooldowns to wait for.
Abed's going to be a little bit cautious. I mean, they're moving in. Frostbite's going to land. They've got the Avalanche Toss. They've got the Freezing Field from Fishman. They've got the Hook to land from Kataomi.
Oh!
At least Fishman does die. Gabby on the chase does try for a little bit more. He's got the arena up, but it's kind of hard for him to close the gap. So Kataomi and TM are still easily able to get out of there. And they will maintain this 3k net worth advantage on Entity's end of things. All 3 cores at the top of the net worth graph. And they're looking for more. They want Natsumi. He's trying to take some stacks away, but he's not going to get them. All the large creeps are left behind for no one to just steal away as Kataomi's looking for a hook. Tim's. Oh, he's been caught. Beautiful hook from Kataomi. That ward paying so many dividends here for Entity, and I can't believe that ward hasn't been de-warded. Xiao died to that ward. Now Tim's dies to that same ward. Hopefully they found. There you go.
They've got to clear it out. Yeah, get some control back, but they're still going to lose their mid-tier 1. In the end, you already got the value out from Entity 1 to 9, 3k lead. The aggression, again, relentless. Very similar to how Game 1 went for Blacklist. Just no room to breathe here. Oh, no.
It's so sad to watch. Pos 4 confidently just taking out the position 1 of the enemy team, but that's what we just saw. Kataomi doing some fantastic work as they will just retreat once again. Blacklist International, they drop the arena. They've got Fishman, but Kataomi's got a hook, but he's got no mana for it. He can't track Fishman out of there. Anyway, you still got the Gyro, so who the hell cares? You lose your Pos 5 CM. Entity is still going to be very happy with the way this game's going.
That they are. 4k lead at 12 minutes in, roundabouts. Already off to a running start. All this time has been just free farm coming in for Watson up top. Battle Fury not too far off. You've got the full blink up now and no one. A little bit of a smoke play out from Blacklist. Even dragging Natsumi along for this one. No arena, mind you, but they do get chain lockdown here. It could work out.
They certainly do. Watson gets caught for a moment. He's got the Enrage available. He won't pop it though. Now he does. His team is on its way, so Watson might actually have a chance to survive this one as they'll drop the call down, but the swap out! Watson's still running! Gabby's trying to get him, but he misses the chains! Oh, Watson's out of there! He's made it! Meanwhile, Natsumi's down! Double kill for DM! Watson's still running. In fact, he's looking at Abed. He might jump back in. Abed chasing him, but it's all too late. How demoralizing is that? Watson still able to survive against 5 enemy heroes, Jonathan. It doesn't really get much worse than that. It really doesn't.
No, it really doesn't. You lose your Pos 1 Gyrocopter as well. Overall, in terms of net worth, it's still a decent swing for Blacklist considering how far behind they are, but not enough to offset this game. They're hunting for Abed again as well.
Frostbite lands. Hook. Fishman gets out of the way. Abed caught. Does he have a chance? Frostbite's going to land. He does not.
Ooh.
Fishman will secure the kill. Even the neutral's not able to quite get enough damage off onto the Timber to deny him off. And I think Entity are kind of showing us really the strength of this support Pudge. Again, level 1 hook. Like, the fact that the max range takes down half your HP throughout the laning stage, as long as you have someone to throw a stun out and guarantee you that max range hook, it's just too much damage.
Way too much. You found a bot tier 1. Tim's.
Mid lane in danger. Tim's probably not going to make it out of this one, though a nice toss away onto no one, but he is still dead. Fishman able to pick up another kill on the CM. It is currently 3-14 with a 5k advantage, 14 minutes in. What I'm trying to say, Jonathan, it's pretty rough for Blacklist.
Oh, it certainly is. There's just no room for them to really scale up. We're still waiting for the initial blink on Gabby.
No one.
They find again.
No one's got no toss target, but he's got a hook. to save his life here. They'll still try to move him with the arena. No one. He pops the shield rune. Spear is going to land, though. No one should be going down, and does. A nice start here for Blacklist. As now the chase is on for Kataomi, but he'll try for a TP play out. Where's the detection?
Ooh.
They don't have it. It's too late. At least you got no one. It's still a very strong kind of kill to have here for Blacklist International.
It is, and it's a lot of gold flowing back their way. 6k lead down to 4k. Natsumi gets some good activity out on the Gyrocopter as well, and that leads into the blink of Gabby being finished up. So now you've got your initiation lined up here on the side of Blacklist. You're getting some room out for Abed to finish up his own units to be protected in the middle of these engagements. Do appreciate what Entity's done with vision control, though. They've got a really good forward board down bot. Oh.
They found Abed again mid lane. No one's just been so good with these toss-back plays onto Abed. Abed chaining away, trying for the TP play out, and he's not going to make it. No one with the right click will get it done. And I think you brought up the stat earlier that, you know, Abed does generally have a pretty bad time when it comes to the matchup against no one. And well, it doesn't really seem like that's changed too much since back in the day, John.
Nope, it's been a full year. Still looks like the last time when no one snuck his way in here. Oh, no.
Yeah. Not much to say about this one, I think, John. Natsumi is down. They are going to try and fight, but Tims has been caught by an avalanche, and no one is looking for another toss back. Finding Zhao. It's such a whitewash of a game. Like, Entity are just running circles around Blacklist International. A triple kill for Watson now, and they're looking at that tier 2 bottom tower. And we're only 16 minutes into the game.
Yeah, and they're just playing it fast and hard inside of Entity. No resting here. They know they have the advantage. They know they can keep pulling ahead. No point in just letting Blacklist try to play their own game of farm and catch up. Now, that's maybe something that we haven't seen in Southeast Asia. We've seen teams take an early lead and go back and farming. Not Entity. They'll keep going. They'll keep pushing the advantage. They'll choke you out. They're setting their eyes forward as well. Got the full phylactery up on no one. Even more damage out from that crash landing on the toss now.
Look off the mark. No one. Looking to jump in. Does catch an avalanche.
Oh.
Tims. Oh my god. Tim's just absolutely destroyed. It's a phylactery toss from no one, John. It's just too much damage. Now Gabby getting caught. Gabby's down. Hook is out. They found another. That'll be Shout to boot. 3 down for Blacklist International. Kataomi saying aura, which I think is, he's trying to say Zhao is basically just an aura at this stage, John. I can't disagree with that sentiment from Fishman.
No.
Excuse me, rather Kataomi, was it? Yeah, it was. Tims? Tims is probably just dead. Natsumi's going to try to help. I don't know about this. They have TPs incoming, but Natsumi's down. Gabby's going to show up now on a Kataomi. Gets the arena, but the spear lands on the Ursa. Kataomi still messing around. Finally goes down. Watson's going to go for the fight, but he will drop. All right, Blacklist, they get something. But it really does feel like Entity are the ones feeding them these kills at this stage. I'll be honest with you, John.
Yep. They're having fun. No one's not even there. He was chasing up Abed by the Roche for a very long time. It's just been a sequence of unfortunate events for Blacklist so far. Entity just, again, not relenting in this aggression. Blacklist with some responses. It's just not quite enough. Like, I like that Natsumi's waiting on the flank, trying to get some action going. It's just that it doesn't connect fast enough from Gabby to save his life. Not fast enough on Zhao with the TP. Need these actions to be a little bit quicker for Blacklist to get some cleaner kills back. But Entity, despite those losses, are still in a very good position in this game overall. I mean, they still haven't taken Roche. They've got the Ursa with Battle Fury. It's a nighttime Roche. It shouldn't take too long for Watson. And Blacklist just has no control in that area. Even with their tier 1, they just can't cross that side. It's going to be a free secondary life now coming out for the Ursa. No problems whatsoever. We're still waiting for Natsumi to get his Ags. Even at the Ags timing, it feels like he needs just BKB Satanic, or at least the Satanic first, just to sustain true as he's surrounded.
Yeah, he certainly is, John. Natsumi will be going down again by the looks of it. Here comes Abed to try and salvage. Gabby's going to find no one on the Tiny. No one. About to drop, but the freezing foot does come out. Still Abed does finish the job off. Now Fishman will be left behind on the CM, so Fishman to go down, but here comes Watson and the crew.
Oh.
A nice hook. Tim's will get caught by that's a Kataomi. Already finding one. Abed dropping very low on the timber, though Zhao is going to stun them up, but DM's got the swap out into the magic missile. Holding down even more. Arena dropped by Gabby, but it means really nothing. Zhao will try again with the Earth Splitter, but it's a full team wipe for the side of Entity. When does the torture end? When do Blacklist call?
I mean, it feels like they've got to look soon. There is some high ground potential, to be fair, but considering this deficit, it just feels near impossible. I mean, take a look how much HP Kataomi has. His positioning, his understanding of how these fights and when to re-engage has just been amazing on this Pudge. Like, he's hanging back in the lane when he knows his teammates are coming through the gate. Closer by, goes in back for the hooks. Manages to land him every single time. 18 stacks on the Pudge off the back of that engage mic. 2.4k HP just casually, with no HP items whatsoever. Blacklist, it feels like they have to really connect with this teamfight idea. Right? It has to be a good arena, good stomp, good Earth Splitter. No one's really enjoying himself.
Certainly is. And why the hell not like this guy? He literally just has to press the toss button, John.
Oh.
That's it. Someone's going to die.
Again?
Zhao now. Speaking of dying, Natsumi, he'll barely escape. Zhao, not so much. Now Entity looking for the Tormentor. They'll be able to take that, no problems, of course. And Kataomi now with the free Dismember shards for himself on the Pudge. It's Kataomi's hunting again himself. He spots out Gabby. Gabby has no idea. Dismember out from Kataomi, and the cavalry is incoming. There's no escaping Watson. Arena down, but Gabby is gone. Tips out from Kataomi as he just spins in circles.
Oh,
what can you do?
Nah, you can't do much here, Mikey. Blacklist. Kind of just getting outclassed. Again, maybe they're using this opportunity to try out different draft ideas right now, considering they're #1 in groups. A loss here really doesn't affect it. It does maybe drag Entity up slightly, going 3-2-0 compared to Blacklist going 3-1-1, if that is the scoreline we end up with. But they have a free ride into groups anyhow. So again, it's an opportunity to test things, like, you know, going away from the Beastmaster Hoodwink ideas, trying different pause ones, trying different mids for Abed on a platform that's a lot more serious than a scrim. I can see that's why some of these ideas are coming out now for Blacklist. Still, Entity, you know, they're not goofing around. Even their draft is also slightly unorthodox. We haven't seen too much of the Pudge. We've seen a little bit of the Venge for sure. Tiny mid, not as often in Riyadh at the very least. It has still been working out. Smoke out now from Entity.
They've got the Kanda on no one. Like, the amount of damage he's going to do with these tosses, with that Kanda, it's going to really hurt. So they jump in, Avalanche tosses out, Tims is guaranteed to die, as now Gabby, falling low himself, will barely make it away, but now Natsumi has been caught again. 2 down for Blacklist International, maybe make that 3, because Kataomi apparently just doesn't miss. Zhao gets caught. He's gone. No, he's not. He makes it to the fountain. Gabby's going to throw an Arena down. He'll try for no one. They do at least get the Tiny. Maybe they can look towards Watson, but Watson's still got the Aegis up. They'll take him down once as Gabby. He's going to look for a spear back play on the Ursa into the fountain, but it doesn't quite get towards the fountain. Still Watson dropping low. Has got down. Tips out.
Oh.
Smiley's face from Watson. They even found DM now. DM probably going to die. Don't forget the rim.
Easy game. Easy for who, Gabby? Easy for who?
It's just easy. It's an easy game. That's all he's saying.
And I was wondering as well, you know, when they were saying sub Yoa in so we can win, do you believe they're asking Entity to take Yoa back?
Yes.
So they have a shot instead of no one. It certainly feels no one's just been crushing it. See if they can get some punishment.
Toss back onto the mid-tier 1 tower, apparently. Gabby, gonna be alright for now. Arbit, maybe not so much. He's already lost half his HP here to the hook of Kataomi, and he's trying to get away, but the Frostbite's gonna lock him down. Kataomi jumping in again with the Dismember will hold down Arbit. That's your Timber down. The Avalanche out from no one, connecting on 3 targets, but they are still moving in here, Blacklist. They go onto Fishman, but the hook back onto Natsumi.
Oh.
Even the Centaur coming in for a casual stun, just to make sure Natsumi does not get away. But they even got his courier. Because everyone's against Natsumi today.
They are. Gabby.
Hooks off the mark this time. Avalanches too.
Really want that kill onto Gabby. You're not going to find it. Still Blacklist. After a good turnaround on a little bit of a deep dive from Entity, they can't even find the tier 1 mid. Entity still managed to hang on to that objective. 17k lead, 12 to 36 here for the side of Entity. Probably just need this BKB done on no one, and he's not going to care about being stuck in the arena any longer. Can open up some more aggressive plays. 22 stacks up on Kataomi. Nice amount for our Pudge. It's not as much HP as it was before. I feel like they've nerfed that substantially. It used to be so much more. Maybe once he has the max out Dismember, you can start to see just how crazy it can get in 2 levels. Still, what way do you have back for Blacklist? I mean, you kind of have to bank on Entity overextending. Like, get the isolation plays on these big heroes, prevent the swaps from coming in somehow from DM. And then the game starts to open up a little bit more. We've got some more durability up on Abed. He's got the full Eternal Shroud now. You've got the BKB being formed up by Gabby. Still waiting on the Ags for Natsumi on the Courier. As, well, the last part was stuck there. Some tools are there. It's just, they need to play clean on Blacklist. For Entity, well, if they just keep bashing their heads against the wall, eventually they can find it, as long as they don't bleed out too much.
The problem is, how do you stop bleeding out too much here? It's pretty tough. No one now with the full BKB up on the Tiny. It's kind of the thing for no one. Like, he has been susceptible to dying just a little bit with all the stuns that are available here on Blacklist International, but now with the BKB up, it's gonna be a lot more confident to just casually jump in for an Avalanche Toss combination and get away with it every single time. Just waiting for the next Roshan is Entity. 30 seconds till we find out when that is going to respawn. And Blacklist, props to them. They're not out of the game yet. They are fighting to try and force a draw here against Entity, but you know, they're still within Dire Straits. Still a long time to go before they get that farm they require. There's your Ags up on Natsumi now, 27 minutes into the game, but his net worth is 10k. Like, it's... You are just really relying on Gabby and Abed to make this game kind of work at this stage. Like, the gyro is just not getting anywhere.
No, it's down to Gobed, as it does feel like it has fallen down to for Blacklist.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much Gabby and Abed can really do. Like, how much this combination can do at the moment. It has to be perfection from Gabby. And they have to be very disruptive with Abed on the back. Lose their tier 2. No outer tower left for Blacklist side of Entity. And Roshan is up if they want to go back and scout it, but are keen on trying to stop this push. Gabby hanging in a pretty decent spot.
No, he won't be able to take the Wisdom Rune away, though. Just kind of clears out the creep wave and goes for a run. Yeah, Entity have chosen to take their own sweet time to just relax and get some farm going, just address the creep waves and again wait for Roshan, which is actually already up. Just neither side have scattered it out yet. It's like perhaps Kataomi might have a bit of a check soon. Top lane, Avalanche Toss has caught out Zhao, so he is just immediately deleted to that combination. It's just so unfortunate because we're in a meta again where no supports can survive Avalanche Toss to Tiny if he has this crash landing facet.
Yep. Just really melt through. Abed still manages to hang away. They've got some good wards watching that crossing through the tier 1. But the Roche does begin for the side of Entity. Not going to take too long for Watson.
Natsumi.
Maybe Abed could try for a cheeky steal.
Oh, Natsumi. Avalanche Toss. He died to the Avalanche Toss. The hook did not land. That was Avalanche Toss plus 1 right click. That killed off Natsumi.
Abed. Bash? Oh,
Yeah,
the bash
he
kicks
got
in.
Bashes. Of course he gets bashed. Nice try from Abed. Tips out from Watson. What can you do? It happens.
Yeah. The timing was almost right. Couldn't quite snatch away the cheese at the least, but side of Entity, well, the high ground's very simple now. There's no output in Natsumi yet. Needs a BKB. You do have the BKB and Gabby, but without your two other cores, it just doesn't feel like you can do much.
Well, there goes your tier 3 top tower. No defending that.
Radiant's top tower has fallen. Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
No one looking for a toss-back target. Not going to have one that time around. Oh, Watson, he'll just keep going. I mean, if they're not going to try and defend with that Arbit, of course, he'll just go for a secondary barracks while he still can. Arbit up in 5. No one, meanwhile, trying to find a toss-back target. Not going to be able to catch Gabby. So Entity back in onto the tier 3 tower, but now a 5-man smoke committed here from Blacklist International. No one's still waiting to blink in and toss, I think, but he just sees nobody. Blacklist make it pretty obvious they are smoked up. tier 3 tower will be taken down by our Tiny. Blacklist International, they are the ones that probably need to move. And Gabby, he has tried to move in on his own now as they do jump in with Arbit, trying to shred him apart. They've got Kataomi down at the very least, but they've lost Natsumi again. You know, the Gyro he just dies immediately as the swap is out now to Tim's. Tim's stealing the swap away, able to get himself out, but no one's in with an avalanche toss combination. Not quite killing anyone off. Hook off the mark from Kataomi. Meanwhile, back onto no one. They'll try for the Tiny again, but he is not dying. No one will turn with the rest of his squad. Gabby's down. Arbit's probably dead to boot. And he called. GG, well played. They finally had enough.
That they do. Good luck next from Gabby. There is no next for Entity until Wednesday. But the sentiment is appreciated, I'm sure. Entity showing up for the series